Hello and welcome. This is part of a series of short videos on team-based problem solving. In the first video, we'll learn a few concepts in uh, about problems and about solutions and how they are connected and how we can use them to write a short project proposal. So problem and solution, these are two endpoints that we would like to connect. So when we talk of problem, we talk of ultimate beneficiary. So keep in mind this keyword, ultimate beneficiary. It will become more clear as we go through the slide. So ultimate beneficiary is a person or usually a group of persons. So these ultimate beneficiaries could be anybody such as, say, farmers or people living in cities or people having a particular health problem or a particular industry or the government and so on. So these ultimate beneficiary, which is a group of persons, they have some problem. So that problem is a pain point. So they have something that is itching them, something that is bothering them. So that is what we have to identify first. So once you identified the group of persons and the problem that they are facing, then we can come to a solution. Now, the solution is not directly related to the ultimate beneficiary. It is related through a series of steps. That's what we'll see now. And I'm going to use an analogy of, say, fever or a headache. So that is what I'm going to call as a pain point. And fever or headache, who is the ultimate beneficiary? Anybody, any one of us, right? Any one of us can get a fever or a headache. So I'm just as an analogy. But later you will see that this pain point could be anything technical, anything that they having in the problems in their day-to-day life and so on. But just for the sake of analogy, I'm going to use fever or a headache. So let's say the ultimate beneficiary, which is any group of persons having pain point, which is a fever. So what do we do to solve it? We take a tablet. So which is what we're going to call it a pain reliever. So this pain reliever tablet is the analogy, but in general, this pain reliever could be any product or a service. So any product or a service that is given to the ultimate beneficiary that relieves the pain. Who does that? It's not you who is developing the technical solution directly who does the delivery of the pain reliever. It is usually done by public facing organizations like businesses, government, non-profit or non-governmental organizations. So they are the ones who can scale up anything that you develop in a lab or a conceptual solution and take it to the vast majority of public. Now, again, still we have not made a connection between what you're doing here, which is this technical solution, and this pain point. So let's come back to the technical solution. The technical solution that you do could be something like solving some set of equations or proposing a new theory or coming up with a small working model and so on. Now that technical solution has an immediate user. Okay, so immediate user could be people from academia itself. There could be tool developers, product developers, and so on. Now they are the ones who are going to take this, any solution that you propose here, convert it to into practical use, and take it to the public facing organization who will scale it up. So this is the way we see the relationship between the proposed solution through an intermediate user public facing organization to an ultimate beneficiary who has a pain point. Now, when we are going to write a proposal, so once this broad picture is clear, you are expected to write a very short summary of this entire picture. And for that, we are going to use these keywords that are listed here. So the keywords for a pain point are importantly two things. One is the importance of the pain point. Importance means how important it is for the life and death or the economic uh, well-being or health and so on. Prevalence is how common that pain point is found. Suppose you find a pain point that affects only a very small fraction of the people and it is not that important, then you will not have any businesses or government who is going to actually, whatever innovations that you do, they're not going to take it to the ultimate beneficiary, right? So unless the pain point is important and it is prevalent and a lot of people are affected by that, it is not going to happen by taking this from your lab to the ultimate beneficiary. So, whenever you describe a pain point, you also need to research and find out the importance and the prevalence. Now, coming to the solution, any scientific problem has a question and an answer. Okay, so it's like a textbook problem, right? You have at the end of the chapter, you have questions and you have to find an answer. So any technical solution has a question. So you need to define the question very clearly. So what you are working on will be a very small technical question that you might be addressing over a period of 6 months to a year or something like that. So once you address the technical question, you finding what is the outcome of that? You're finding an answer, right? But at the stage of the proposal, that is now when you're starting, you really don't know what the answer is. You only have the question. You only have some idea of the answer. Okay, so that guess answer is what we call at the proposal stage as a claim. So I claim that this is the answer to the question. Okay, so when you claim that answer, then you should have typically more than one claim to an answer, right? So you don't know which of the claims will be the correct answer, so you just claim one of the answers. What is the purpose of claiming or guessing the answer? It is because it will tell you, if I have to go from this question to this claim, what is the method that I have to follow? So to know that, clearly articulate the question and the claim, you and the methodology that you're going to adopt, you need to have this guess answers, which are called as claims. So as part of the initial proposal, so I am proposing to solve, I'm not yet solved, I'm just beginning to solve, I've just identified a pain point, I've identified a technical problem, which is a question, and I have some guess answers, right? And I know that from going from question to the claim, I have to follow the certain methodology. So this is how you state, you give a proposal to somebody when you want somebody to fund you to do a work and so on. You make a proposal, right? So a nice way to state all these things in a few simple sentences is what is called as a user story. User in this case is the ultimate beneficiary. So around that, everything is around that user. So what is that user facing? What is the problem that the user is facing? And how what you are going to do is going to solve that problem. So focusing on the user, we write a story in a few lines. So what I have got here is one such template which uses 3 lines. The first line, here, describes the problem. The second line tells what first line describes the pain point, second line describes the problem, and third is the answer, that is the claim that you're making and what methodology you're going to follow. Okay, so if you are able to fill in this fill in the blanks templates, then you have, once you get the broad idea, you can fill in this blanks easily and you can see what. So structure is as for ultimate beneficiary who has some pain point which has got some importance and prevalence, right? The product. whatever you're going to do, whatever it might result in what you're going to do, provides a some solution that alleviates the pain. Very simple. So basically, it's basically connects the pain point to the pain reliever. Then come to the technical problem. So what is in the technical problem? First, you describe what is a broad topic in what area you're going to work on, right? So it could be something in fluid mechanics, in heat transfer, in say reaction or new chemicals or whatever it is. So that broad topic, okay, because people who are going to fund you need to know what topic you're going to work on. Then you state the problem in just one line, right? Very simply, so that people can very quickly get what is the problem that you're working on. And then you say that who is going to be the immediate user, because it's very likely that what you're doing will not directly relate go to the ultimate beneficiary. It'll go to somebody else. Let's say you're doing some small tool. That tool has to be used with some other tool, okay, and both this tool put together with some existing tool only will result in the product, right? So the time that you get, which is like say 6 months or 1 year to solve a problem, you cannot make a very significant change, right? Usually. So that's why you need to identify who is the immediate user who is going to benefit from your technical work. And finally, you state what is the methodology that you're going to follow to get the possible answer. You have to guess an answer, I told you. So to test that claim, I'm going to use this particular methodology. All right, so what I've given here is one vague problem. It's not a real problem, but I've tried to fill in the blanks here using the template that I have shown in the previous slide. So let me just read this for you. So the things that are underlined here are all fill in the blanks. The remaining words are all from the template. Okay. So here we are describing a problem. So I'm not going to explain. The sentences itself is written in a simple language, which should be quite self-evident. Okay, so that's how you are going to try and impress your fundraisers, some funders who is going to sponsor your project. Okay, so here it goes. For people living in cold places who experience dryness in room heaters, using room heaters, which causes them chronic throat pain and affects all persons, the product, the name of the product, Warm Hume, provides controlled humidity while keeping the room temperature warm. Okay, so the first defining the problem and the pain reliever. Now we come to the uh, problem and the technical problem and the methodology and possible answer. So we intend to work on evaporative humidification to find out the optimum water heating rate that could result in the development of an improved room humidifier. Fire. We propose to use analytical and CFD tools to obtain high surface area mesh heater with trickling water. Okay, so this is some random thing. It's nothing completely made up problem and solution. Okay, so just to show that this is what you should be starting to write your proposal once your team has come up with, discussed and found out what you're going to work on and what is the approximate methodology you're going to follow. Now, many things in this could change, except for the problem and the pain point, and this, the methodology, the problem that you're going to solve could change. But it's important that you realize and you articulate it beforehand. Okay, thank you.